Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! I feel so bad. Just seeing him fall down the stairs like that. I just hope he'll be able to walk again. And I'm hoping they just let me see him. I don't want to cry on camera. I feel like I should have checked on him. I'm at the emergency vet. Long story short, Louie fell down the stairs. That's our Frenchie. I was trying to get him to come down the stairs so he can go outside and go to the bathroom. I kept hearing him tapping on the stairs, and I should have known something was wrong because when he has to go, he comes straight down. I told him to come down, and he stopped on the stairs. So I unlocked the door, and when he hears the lock, he knows to just come, that he's gonna be able to go outside. And I hate I did it. I didn't know, but I unlocked the door, and he tried to keep going down the stairs, and he fell all the way down the stairs, and it was hard to watch. He fell like backwards, like on his back. This is how we're starting our new year, day one. It's either a slip disc or a fracture. Fracture is 10 times worse because they have to do surgery. Surgery will be mandatory. And it's a matter of how much movement will be restored because as of now, he is paralyzed from the waist down. Because yesterday, everybody was closed. We just monitored him. And kind of sitting like this, like on his legs, his back legs couldn't move. And so we brought him in today. In the past, he had a slip disc and he kind of became paralyzed about 6 months to a year ago, and they got it fixed. Sorry guys, I'm just really beating myself up because I know I didn't imagine this would happen, but I feel like I should have known something was wrong. I've never went to let him out and he just didn't come. I just really wish I would have checked on him. My husband was away and he couldn't lay down because he couldn't move. He was just sitting up for so long. So I went and got his dog bed and I was just begging him, like, please lay, like just collapse your legs, basically, like lay down. I was trying to get him to lay down. So he's been laying in the bed and my husband and I picked up the bed and put him in the trunk and we put stuff around him so it wouldn't be moving. And that's how we got him inside. My husband was on one end, I was on the other, and we carried him in. I just really want them to get him his pain medicine. Because though he doesn't feel, they're still gonna have to move him and, you know, there's a chance he could be in pain. And we were supposed to be going down to my in-laws' house a couple of hours ago to eat our greens and, you know, our black-eyed peas. And I just feel like shit, I'm not gonna lie. And I feel so bad because you hear dogs that sound like they could be in pain. And I'm thinking when they were moving him around that was the dog that I heard. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like, I don't know if that's him.
So what I wanted to do is call and sort of go over everything with you, give you all the information. Where we stand right now, there's basically a couple different options. The underlying cause is still there, which means it's more likely a when is this going to and be a problem, not if it's going to raise its ugly head and be a problem. 25 to 35% chance that we're going to see any change. More than likely, unfortunately, it would continue to devolve neurologically until we were completely paralyzed in the back end. We are comfortable. I gave some pain medication, so we're just back here resting comfortably. But we're going to need to make a decision of a direction you guys want to go. But I know that she headed back this way. There's no need to stay here. The poor woman's been here long enough.
Right. Yeah, I picked her back up, and now I'm just trying. We have a 1-year-old too, so we're just trying to, get home.
When you call back, just basically say that you're calling about Louie and you wanted to talk to Dr. Johnson about the case. We are dealing with the dog that if we start the at-home therapy, it's probably going to be days or weeks to get back to a point where we might walk again and be self-sufficient if we even get there. This is going to be a dog that's going to have to wear diapers. This is a dog that's going to have to be restricted care. This is a dog where you're probably going to have to turn them, every 6 to 8 hours so they don't get bed sores, clean the area around the rectal area and the penile area when you take the diapers off, and do that. We're getting medication 2 to 3 times a day. This is going to be a labor intense. And once again, we're only looking at a 25 to 35% chance of coming back to a normality that doesn't involve having to do all this stuff. Even if we're just a little bit off balance and walking a little bit in the back off. You've got a lot of irons in the fire right now. Both of you do, okay? And it's going to be a situation where it sounds like it's going to fall completely on you to not only take care of your child while your husband's away, but also take care of a very special needs dog that might never come out of this, okay? I'm willing to say let's go ahead and do, the at-home therapy and see how it goes. But a lot of what he's saying makes me want to caution you, not as a doctor, but as a person. You are going to put a lot of effort. It is going to be a very stressful period. And in the end, there's a 65 to 75% chance that it's not going to work. The question really comes down to, given everything that's going on, does it make sense to try? Or are we presented with a situation where the best for everybody might be to say, unfortunately, we need to make a difficult decision. To be honest with yourself and with your husband about what you're getting into and what you're going to deal with, and what happens if we do a week to 2 weeks of this and it's not getting any better, it worsens. We're going to be in a situation where we're right back to the same situation. Emotionally, are you going to be able to handle this sort of Damocles that's hanging over your head? Are you going to be able to handle a lot of stress? I told your husband, I'm a veterinarian, I love animals, but people come first. You got a 1-year-old. That 1-year-old is your world, and that 1-year-old deserves every bit of your time. And if you're going to be suffering either with the 1-year-old or with Louie as we're doing all this stuff, I want you to be honest with yourself, because I would much rather you make a difficult decision now and live with it than have to make the same decision after you've tried and it has ruined you, it has destroyed you, it has worn you out physically, mentally, emotionally, all the rest of that. That's what you're going to be getting into as a potential. I will do whatever you want me to do, but I want you to be very honest with yourself and your husband about what you're capable of and what's going to happen. And there's nothing wrong with saying this is not going to work, because the honest person is able to see their weaknesses. It's the person that's not honest that says I can do everything and ends up causing a lot more problems.
Okay, well, yeah, okay.
Give us 30 more minutes, Doc. We'll call
You
back.
take your time. We're resting comfortably. You call back when you can. We'll talk from then, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
no problem. Bye-bye. It becomes an at-home care situation that comes with a lot of complicating factors you have to be very, very aware of and stay on top of.
The road, I own a trucking company, so it's kind of hard for me to.
God bless you, man. You truckers have probably the worst. Everybody hates you truckers except for me. I love you to death. You give me all my food and everything, but it seems like everybody in the world always has something bad to say about truckers. The second option is to be basically put him in the hospital on IV fluids and start him on very aggressive injectable steroids at high doses, and then transfer over to oral steroids to see how he does. The third option is just to go ahead and send home oral medications. We give a couple of injections here, send home oral medications, and not hospitalize them. And I can go over those estimates if that's the direction you want to go. If you guys talk about you want to go, that's absolutely fine. And see how he does on the oral medications. Once again, probably a 25 to 35% chance of seeing an improvement. Unfortunately, that means 65 to 75% chance he's not going to improve or he's going to worsen. So.
It's going to have the exam on there, 2 view radiographs. I'm going to get some spinal radiographs, see if you can see what might be going on. And we're going to give a pain injection just to keep him comfortable while we take those x-rays.
Okay.
Okay? All right, I'll check back in just a few minutes, okay?
Okay. I'm going to try to get him, because my husband ready to get some food so we haven't eaten. So when he re-explains it to my husband, I'm going to try and get the footage so you guys can get the full picture. Because I know I'm not going to be able to explain this right. He still has a little nerve control. Because when they probed his butt, it was moving, like he was responding, but not his legs. I don't know if that makes sense. And I'm just like really beating myself up that I unlocked the door and I didn't go. Because it sounded like he was on like the second or third step and he just didn't come down. So I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't have to go.
With everything like that. And so let's talk. What are you guys been discussing? What are you thinking? Do you have questions? Do you want to discuss anything else? Where do we stand right now?
I would have liked to try the care at home.
So even if you stayed in the hospital, going home after that, it's the same situation.
And it's probably something, like I said, it's not going to be I give an injection and tomorrow he's out walking around and feeling fine. It's going to be a slow process coming back, if it comes back. The things we talked about.
Yeah.
My job is not just to tell you what's going to happen in the next 12 hours. My job is to tell you what's going to happen in the next 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. That's why I wanted to make sure you knew that. There's nothing worse than me sending you out of here, and 3 days from now, if I had known, if he had told me, if we had discussed it, I wouldn't have done that. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to Louie. Okay. But especially given the history of knowing that when he was younger he had this is lifelong, and he's 3. So we go to surgery, we fix this, he comes out of it. We talked about there's other discs in the area that are already calcified, which means that he plays a higher risk of a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road coming back in here with the exact same situation. And it's a great question, and I appreciate you in your mind exploring all options. That's only fair, not only for Louie, but for you. Regardless of what you guys decide today, I want you to be able to walk out of here and feel comfortable. Maybe not feel happy, maybe not feel, maybe be upset by it, but at least be able to look in the mirror and say, I made the best decision based on every aspect of my life, my husband's life, my child's life, everything that's going on. Whatever decision we make, I want you to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. Okay. You have a question?
I mean, in all actuality,